Given that our current news cycle is dominated by news coming out of Israel, I wanted to fill you on a story that you likely haven't heard anything about. The Ottawa Citizen ran a promising story yesterday headlined, "Suspended Detective Accused of Seeking Links Between Child Deaths and COVID-19 Vaccines Set to Return to Work, Lawyer Says." OPS says no timeline set. While there seems to be some disagreement between the lawyer and the police department, the Ottawa police detective accused of seeking links between children's deaths and COVID injections may have her suspension rescinded soon, this according to her lawyer. You see, back in February of this year, the investigator became the target of the investigation as Ottawa police detective Helen Gurus was accused of conducting an unauthorized investigation. Helen, who at the time had been assigned to the SIDS unit, was knee-deep into investigating sudden infant death cases. Following her gut in 2022, Helen started asking the grieving mothers if they'd recently gotten the COVID injection or a booster. To her surprise, she started finding a connection, which led her to begin looking into the work of other investigators' cases to see if this was the case in those occurrences as well. When her department found out what Helen was up to, instead of encouraging what she was doing, they charged her with discreditable conduct and commenced a human resource trial to get her fired or demoted. Helen has been on suspension since February. The Ottawa Citizen reported in August of this year that Helen was accused of investigating 9 SIDS cases she wasn't assigned to, with her focus being on establishing the mother's vaccination status. Her superiors were particularly triggered that in one case where the mother couldn't be reached, Helen had the audacity of reaching out to the father and asking for details. You see, in March, one of the mothers, let's call her Karen for the time being, was notified by Helen's department that Helen had accessed Karen's baby's death records and that Helen was not assigned as the original investigating officer on the case. Karen told the Ottawa Citizen she felt that her privacy had been violated and was further incensed as well at all the ongoing support Helen had received from folks who were opposed to vaccine mandates. Things are a bit unclear, but from what I can tell, Helen's trial is set to continue the first week of December. But she has an upcoming meeting with the department where her return to work will be discussed, including potential restrictions and conditions on her if she were to be allowed to return from her current suspension. A department spokesman confirmed that Helen remains suspended for now, and there's been no decision yet about her coming back to work. Of course, this story should have received more notoriety earlier this year, but it's Canada, and we have an incompetent and malevolent government, as well as a news media to boot, which is virtually the same. So what more can I say? Helen's friends set up a GiveSendGo to help with her legal expenses, and it's not done as well as it should have. I put a link in the notes section to it. So give what you can, folks. After all, she's fighting for truth and transparency, not just for all of us, but for the memory of those children. Anyway, I do appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. You can also follow me on my Rumble and my Locals account. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. You can also follow me on Twitter at Camera612, and I will see you next time.